Well, hello, boys and girls. I'm bringing you breaking news here from the reselling newsroom. And now the light is coming in the window and ruining. Well, hello, boys and girls. I'm bringing you breaking news here from the reselling newsroom. And now the light is coming in the window and ruining. Well, hello, boys and girls. Here we are back again in the newsroom, ready for some interesting stuff to happen. Good morning, everyone. Great to have you with me. Rach, how are you? Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Maya. Good morning. Rubber Ducky Rye, good morning. Landshark Picker, good morning. And Sandra, good morning. Fantastic. Great to have everyone with me this morning. I hope the weather is fine where you all are. It's a bit, overcast and a little bit windy here, which isn't great, but, we must put up with it. Hang on, I just need to adjust my light a little bit. Right. Maybe that's a little bit better, so it's not blinding me. Right, let's see what news we have. What have we got here? Maya says 8 p.m. here, Wednesday night. We have storms rolling in here due to the hurricane that hit Florida a few days ago. I've actually been watching a couple of live streams off and on over the last couple of days that have been showing the hurricane coming in and people doing storm chasing and all that kind of weird stuff. Right. Let me share my screen. So that we can just going to put that on full screen for a sec. And let's just take that away so we can read it. Right, I found this interesting article when I was looking for some news about eBay and shopping and stuff. And we get such high prices in the op shops, and then I find a news article like this. It's a bit blows you away a little bit. So what it says is op shops give away clothes as surging donations put pressure on global fabric recycling systems. And we've got the little op shop granny there, showing us how it's all done. In short, only 10% of donations to op shops actually make it onto the shop floor, and the rest, they put it in the recycling, send it off to the recycling firms. But one of Australia's largest has actually stopped taking the excess stock. So what does that mean for us? Well, the op shop operators say they're worried that they'll need to spend more time and money sending donated clothes to landfill as fabric recycling firms abroad hit capacity. In Australia, only about 10% of items are donated to op shops, make it to store floors, with those rejected in too poor condition to sell. It means stores need to find a way to dispose of unsellable clothing, with many sending it to recycling firms where the fabric is given a second life. The Anglican Bell Tower op shop in Mount Gambier, which is in regional South Australia, uses a firm called Statewide Cleaning Cloths, which takes fabric and turns it into cleaning cloths sent across the world. But volunteer Trudy Ann Doyle recently received a letter saying the company would no longer be taking stock from Australian stores. If you can't send it to Statewide, it's not good enough to sell, and we're not selling everything we put out to sale anyway. Then it's going to landfill. So even what they're putting out is not actually getting sold, so they're putting that in there as well. Our immediate response has been to unpack what we were going to send to Statewide and put it on a free rack and see if the public might take it. but our prices are already pretty low and the public may not want it. Mrs. Doyle said she wanted to avoid sending clothes to landfill, but op shops received so many donations they may have no choice. So yeah, when you've got things like that happening, it makes it a bit hard, but it still brings to bear why are the prices so high in the op shops if they can't get rid of the stock? It's easy. Lower the prices in the op shop. Coppercat, Mary Jo, how are you? How's Arkansas today? Hello all. Sliding in to catch the rest of the live. Neighbour popped in with boxes. Ooh, hope there's some goodies in the boxes. Oh, empty boxes, I'm guessing, for packing. Rach says, yes, I read about that. When I lived in Papua New Guinea, the second-hand shops there received loads of huge bales of ex-Aussie op-shop stock as it is such a poor country, yeah. And that's great. I mean, I think that's a fantastic way of stuff that's not getting sold if it's getting used. But if it's not getting used, well, it becomes a bit of an issue, doesn't it? Maya says, are they not selling the clothing bales for resellers? They do that here and in the UK. I think some resellers, I know a couple of resellers that have personal deals organised with op shops, but in general, I don't think so. Like, it's not openly advertised that as a reseller, you can go and buy a bale of clothes. So maybe it's something we as resellers need to start doing, like the ones that are doing clothing, approaching our op shops and asking them. Maya says, I mean, I know there's still a lot of junk still. Yeah, there's always going to be, because if you see some of the stuff that people donate, it's, ridiculous. I can't imagine Papua New Guinea ever turning it down, especially as the girls are taught to sew and repair clothes from a young age. That's true. And that's good. And Maya says, on the subject of prices, they could try doing what Goodwill does with the Goodwill outlets. Is that doing the bins? I think that'd be a really good idea. I'd love to go to the bins. Always saying I'd love to go to the bins. Right, the next bit of news is this one, which, we all know it's happening. So Inside Retail Australia says that there's a war of attrition, how shoppers are reprioritising discretionary spending. And we are seeing it happen because, everyone's talking about, lower prices and stuff. More Australians from both higher and low income levels have been delaying purchasing purchasing products amid cost of living pressures, research shows. 58% of higher income earners and 56% of low income earners, so there's not much difference, 58% of rich people, 56% of poor people, have delayed buying a product, according to Media Hub's The New Value Economy study. Moreover, 40% of high income earners and 51% of low income earners opted to skip the purchase of a product altogether due to inflation. During the past year, 45% of Australians have purchased groceries less regularly. The research also showed that 53% of Australians said that value for money is the most important factor when choosing a brand or product. The study added that while Australians continue to have the most optimistic outlook, they are also feeling anxious and less secure in the current environment. So understanding customer behaviour and discretionary spend across retail categories and across income levels and different stages of life is one of those things that as a retailer we can do. Maya said, yes, sorry, that was Goodwill bins, yeah. They're technically called a Goodwill outlet. Okay, rightio. Well, yeah, because we don't realise that because we don't have them here. But yeah, I see that. I mean, not that, I'd probably not find anything fantastic, but the experience would be good. It looks like fun going to the bins, I reckon. And people do get good things and bargains at times. Lee, how are you this morning? Good morning. Just remembered, company while I'm doing my morning listing. Good girl, getting your listing done. And G Lee, also known as Lee, and I have something very special coming up soon. We've got to tee up when we're going to do it, but we have a very special live stream that we're going to do. And that will be exciting. So that's breaking news too. But I can't tell you any more about it right now. Maya says they could also branch out into doing smaller mystery boxes for sellers and selling online. Yes, there are a few branches of Goodwills here that sell sorted and curated boxes by category. Okay. And I did see Hairy Tornado's video the other day. They went to a particular Goodwill that actually puts stuff in a tub, and you can buy the whole tub. And they bought a whole tub of jewellery and a whole tub of Stitch toys. And yeah, that's a good idea too, because if it's something that if you can go in and buy a tub of whatever it is that you like to source, how good's that? Rach says, I think everyone is spending less worldwide. Absolutely. Look, it's the economy and it is worldwide. We have to accept that, and we have to adjust, how we work our businesses accordingly. Maya said, if your prices are as high as mine are here, having bins are awesome. They don't bother to mark anything down. They just send store pulls right to the bins. Yeah, they are. And, like someone came across there's a particular brand we've got here, country and western brand called R.M. Williams, and they are the ant's pants when it comes to boots. And someone found a pair of their boots in one of the op shops for $400. That's, yeah, blows my mind. Maya says, so there is lots of stuff at my bins that's perfectly fine to resell, but they just price too high. Yeah. And that's the thing. I'm lucky where I am because the prices haven't gone up too much because I'm in a rural area. But like when I've gone to the bigger places and go to the shops, I do still manage to pick up a few things, but by hell, the prices do scare me. But there is a bit of good news on the horizon. And that is that the cash rate hold is a welcome relief to retailers, says the Australian Retail Association. So, this week, the Reserve Bank of Australia made a decision to keep cash rates at 4.35% amid higher cost of doing business. Whilst there is no immediate relief in sight, today's announcement will help keep consumer and business confidence steady, said Paul Zara, CEO of the Australian Retailers Association. We've seen extraordinary resilience from our retail community in recent years, but with ongoing pressure from so many directions, many small businesses are struggling to cope. Moreover, 33% of small business owners are taking on more work than they usually do, and 30% said they have never felt more stressed as the market changes take an emotional toll on them. So, yeah, that's all a bit of a worry, but it's good that they've done that. So the rates won't go up any further. So that is one little bit of good news. And then we'll go to this one. So, talking of selling, eBay books are better than expected sales and earnings. Good old eBay head office there. So, e-commerce giant eBay has posted improvements in sales and earnings for the second quarter, which management said exceeded previous expectations. The company's revenue for the quarter ended June 30th reached $2.6 billion, up 1% on a reported basis and up 2% on the FX neutral basis, which I've got no idea about the FX and stuff like that. But anyway, and 1% doesn't sound much, but when you're talking billions, it's a lot. Gross merchandise volume rose 1% on both reported and FX neutral basis to $18.4 billion. GAAP net income from continuing operations was $226 million, up 31%. No idea what I should look up what some of those things mean, but the continued momentum in focus categories contributed to the growth in GMV amid an uneven discretionary demand environment in major markets, they added. For the third quarter, the company expects revenue of $2.5 to $2.56 billion, representing a 1 to 3% increase. So there you go. So eBay is not doing too bad, thank goodness. Good for us. Rates held for 1 quarter. Yes, exactly. So that's 3 months. We get a bit of a break with the rates being held, which is good. Really good. So one of the things I thought I would do today is, where did I stop my screen there? There we go. Now you can see me better. Just have a drink. It's thirsty work reading the news. I don't know how those news readers that do like the nightly news, how they can, I mean, they're obviously very practiced, but read off the screen. I mean, I have trouble reading a static article, but read off the screen as it's scrolling by, and they don't stuff up at all. Amazing. But I sometimes think it's of my ADHD too, because my brain's ahead of what I'm actually saying. So, I need to stop and think. But what I thought I'd do today, surprise. So I got a parcel in the mail yesterday, or the day before. So getting ready to make label removers. Loads of them. You can't see there. Loads of them. So, for those of you that don't know, these are unique, probably more unique for booksellers, but these are little label scrapers. And I did an experiment. Like, I bought a whole heap of different ones, all different shapes and sizes. Tatiana, good morning. To get the labels off my books, and I tried all different ones. These ones are the best. And so I got a whole heap in, and the only trouble with these they only came with this little bit of chain, and I kept losing them. And there's probably about 4 around my house, and I don't know where they are because I kept losing them. So what I did was I made a little doodle-lucky, put a nice little key ring on there, because you don't want anything too big so that it annoys you when you're getting the labels off. So that's what I'm doing. I've got these in, and I've just got to put them together, and they'll be available in my store as merch in my eBay store. So how exciting is that? Grumpy Granny's going to have merch. And I've actually got some more coming soon that will have a picture of Grumpy Granny on them. Aren't you excited even more? Have a picture of me. Yay. Now, the other thing I'm going to show you are... Oh, crikey. The other thing that I will have in my merch is lint rollers. And I even got my signature colour. Got them in my signature colour. Because I wanted to show you this morning. Sandra says, I can't wait. Yep, I'll organise to get you, perhaps I might be able to get you an early release, Sandra. I wanted to show you the tools that I find the most helpful in my reselling business. So, lint roller, of course. Must have a lint roller. Because if you're a clothing seller, you need a lint roller. You can't do without one. And, you can get the little buzzy ones, and you can get all different ones, but a good old lint roller where you can just, give it a good roll. And I found these are really good. These have got a really nice, comfortable handle, and it's got a nice curve. Instead of just a pole, which they're not very comfortable, these have got a really nice, comfortable handle. So they will be available as well. So that's number one. The second thing I find really helpful is my little mini shrink wrap. And again, this depends on what you're selling. But because I sell books, and if I bundle books, I wouldn't be without my little mini shrink wrap roller. I do get these, which I think Mel gets them. Well, she used to. I don't know whether she still does. Gets them from Bunnings here in Australia, which is a hardware store. But whichever one you get, and they're not expensive. I think this is like about $5. And then you just get a refill of this part to put on. Whatever you do, at one stage there, I think in 2022 there was a shortage, and they were very, very hard to get. I think I needed one at that stage, and I think I paid over $10 to get one. But you couldn't get these that have got the rotating handle, because you need that so that as you're going around whatever you're shrink wrapping, so they only had the static ones, and they're terrible. I've got one in my photo room that as soon as I can get another one of these, I'm going to pitch it because it's very annoying. So that's that one. Next on the list is this brush. Oh, Rachel's excited for the label scrapers too. Rubber Duck Rye says $9 from Bunnings. Okay, yeah, well, it's been a little while since I bought one, so they probably have gone up to that. But, yeah, I think the refills are about $5, aren't they? I think. Maya says, do you ship most of your books in boxes, or do you also use bubble mails? I ship all my books, unless I've got really, really expensive antique books. I ship them all in a cardboard sleeve inside a bubble mailer. Is what I do. And Rach says, I bought one last week. I presume you meant a shrink wrap. Do the lucky thing. And I'm going to find out where online you can get these so that I can actually put a link in, this brush, put a link in my description. But it's actually a cleaning brush, meant for not what I use it for. But it has got great bristles, the thing I like about this. So you can use a paintbrush to get your dust off the books and stuff. But it's not, a lot of the paintbrushes aren't firm enough. This is firm, but it's also soft. It's just the perfect brush. Like, I tried all different brushes. And also it's got a nice handle. So this is a beach cleaning brush, and it's got a beechwood handle. And yes, so I made sure I kept the tag because I will find out where you can get them, and I'll make sure I put up a link for them. Princess Unicorn, welcome, says sometimes you can find the shrink wrap in Daiso, but it's a smaller roll. What's Daiso? What sort of a store is that? Because I don't have any of that store around here. Sandra says, P.S. I like looking at your workspace behind you. Oh, yeah, it's cool, isn't it? Look, I've got Australia Post, Etsy, Depop, and if I put the eBay in the wrong spot because I'm in front of it. So I need to put some more things up here where the pictures are. Oops. Scotty, good morning. Same thing wife tells me, firm but soft. Yeah. Good on you. Daisy Japanese store. Okay, cool. Oh, that's right. Yep. Okay. I'm with you. Princess Unicorn says Daisy. Is it Daisy-O, I'm presuming then, if it's Daisy? So it's a Japanese homeware store. Most products are about $3.30. There's quite a few around Australia now. Oh, brilliant. Okay. I'm assuming they're going to be in the capital cities, which is nowhere near me, but yeah, I must have a look at that. So yeah, brush. And quite handy that this brush even works for getting some lint off clothes. I use it for cleaning my workstation as well, but it's mainly for getting dust off books. It's brilliant. Oh, this is a must-have for me. Is my metre ruler, and the one that I broke in half. And if anyone asks about that, has that been in the video I've put out yet, or is that in one coming up? Either. Might be in the one coming up, I'm not sure. Or it's in the last one I do. Might be in the What Sold one. But I can't do without this because you've got to do the measurements for clothes, number one, and I do them all in inches because you've got to do jeans in inches, and inches are a lot easier to see. Now, the reason I like this particular one is because it's so easy to look at it and see the numbers in the photos. And even if I wanted to use centimetres, it's still quite clear. And regardless of what anyone says, and talking of firm, Scotty, I believe having a hard ruler is much better than having a soft tape when you're measuring clothes. I think you get a much more accurate measurement because if you lay your dressmaking tape across, it can be not sitting flat. and that could give you an inch difference. So I love my ruler. Wouldn't be without it. And next on the list is thread snipper. Fantastic. I wouldn't be without this on my station where I take photos, because inevitably when you put a piece of clothing up on the hanger and go to take a photo, you will see a thread hanging off it. And my OCD will not let me sell that or take a photo of that with that thread hanging off it like that. And I have to snip it off. And it's quite awkward using scissors. And these are actually dressmaking snips, and you would get them at you get these at like Spotlight and other sewing supply stores. But I will say this pair is a Fisker brand. This is one of those things that you get what you pay for, because what you get why is my colour changing? Hang on. There we go. Maybe that's a bit better. Yeah, the cheap ones are crap. Because they've got a snip like that, they don't sort of come together properly. So I highly recommend those ones. And finally, which is probably the number one thing that I cannot do without, I can probably get around all of those other things in some way, shape or form. But the number one thing that I can't do about is my cutting knife, or Stanley knife, whatever you want to call it. Box cutter. Because when I make my cardboard sleeves for my books, which is, one of the most important things that I do, I feel, when I'm sending my books out to customers, is to cut things. But it's not only that. Like, you have to cut the shrink wrap, which I try not to do because cutting the plastic does dull the blade. Lots of things you have to have a box cutter for. And there's all different ones you can get. Get a good old proper Stanley knife. The reason I like this one is because it does fold into itself. So if I'm in one room and I've used it, I can actually just fold that over and chuck it in my pocket, and I'm not at risk of cutting myself, because my Stanley knife, dear old thing, the proper one, the one where you slide the blade down, I put that in my pocket, and as I was doing so, apparently the button was depressed and the blade came out and I cut my leg, and I've just put a new blade in, and it was nasty. And they take ages. They don't stop bleeding. Sandra says it's also a Daisy Japanese store. Which obviously I haven't seen. That's because I'm, hiding up here in the bush. So I don't get to see those sorts of things. So I think, what else is there to talk about today? Anything? Ouch. Yeah, it did hurt. And it took ages to get it to stop bleeding, I'll tell you what. Oh, Sandra, something for you. How's this for a cool cover? It's probably it'll be backwards, but isn't that a cool cover? And it's called Starbrat. The book's called Starbrat. Found it last night. Didn't realise it was there. It's in really good condition. No splitting on the spine or anything. The cover's in great condition. But the virtual background messes with it. But, it's a ripper. And it, 1979, this one. So this book was first published in the USA in 1972. But then in 1979, it was put out by New English Library paperback edition. And it doesn't look like it's been sort of read much. So, yeah, pretty happy with that. Little pick up, a bit partial to vintage science fiction books with the artwork on the cover, I do have to say. So what bargains? Has anybody had any good sales this week? That's what I want to know. The Aussie Nurse Flipper, Graham, good morning, good morning, good morning. And we have, yeah, it's gorgeous. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Oh, Rob. Good morning, booksellers. Yes, young Rob started selling books. That's why he's not, doing the live stream with me anymore, because he's out sourcing books. Rach says, well, I'm in a bad mood today because Australia Post put my band down from 3 to 1 because I had to close my eBay for a month while I was ill and also moving. I know mine went down a band when I was sick as well. And I've actually asked them, I've been waiting for it to go back up again because I felt that the figures were there. I haven't added them up, of course. And I bought 3 boxes of padded mailers, so I thought it should have gone back up. So talking to a few others in the Discord group, apparently it's not often not automatically going back up again like it used to. So people have actually had to contact Australia Post to ask them to review it. God, I hope they don't put it down anymore. That's bad, 3 to 1, isn't it? Yeah, they don't give you any leeway, do they, if you've got something like that happen? Well, hopefully you'll get it back up quickly. Sandra says, good morning, number one bookseller. Yeah, that's what Rob calls himself. Morning. And he's sourcing stock images. We're not allowed to use stock images, just letting people know if they do use them. eBay says we're not allowed to use them, so yeah, we mustn't use them. Sandra says, buy a heap of mailers. Oh, to Rachel, buy a heap of mailers, yeah. The trouble is you've got to store them and, well, you've got to pay for them for a start, have the money to pay for them, but you've got to actually find somewhere to store them. That was my problem because I wanted to buy, because if you buy one, they're a certain price, but if you bought 3, like the price dropped from I think $1.29 each for the small ones to 89 cents. So that's a big drop for each one. So I wanted to buy the 3 boxes, and I think it goes up again if there's 5. If to buy 5, it goes down again as well. And yeah, it's good getting them, but then you've got to put them somewhere. Maya says, this probably has been asked before, but can you see Australian booksellers getting into Amazon at any point? They're starting to. I've actually been approved to sell on Amazon. Still haven't put anything on there. Rob actually sells books on Amazon. He's been doing that for quite a while. The issue is that the market's limited in the fact that when you first start doing it, you have to sell a certain amount of new books before you can then ask to be approved to sell secondhand books. And that's the biggest issue. So we have to sort of go through those steps to enable us to actually sell the secondhand ones. I mean, the people that do sell on there seem to say it works really well. I think the thing that worries me is, I do fulfillment from me, like I would ship it rather than have them ship it, because if you send a heap of, unless I got a whole heap of books that I could send into them, but if after a certain period they haven't sold, then they start charging you more storage fees. That sort of, changes things a bit, doesn't it? Rach says, I'm going to buy a load of tape and mailers, I think. Yeah. I'm not sure that the tape will go towards your band, but the mailers will. Rach says, yes, we'll do and see if that makes a difference. I take it you buy them online. Yeah, so even if you go to the Australia Post store on eBay, that will do it. Now, keep an eye on it. Make sure you then send a message off to Australia Post to make sure that they add that to your calculations, because sometimes they don't. Back to the car. Bye, y'all. Bye, Rob. Enjoy yourself. Hilton Page, good morning, good morning, good morning. Very smart there. And your little piggy. Junk in the trunk. Nice one. Hi, Gigi. First time catching you live. So you cannot use your own bubble mailers. You have to buy them from the post office. Well, we can use our own bubble mailers, but then we have to buy, it's the So how it works is if we use an Australia Post bubble mailer or a satchel or a box, doesn't matter whatever type of thing it is, they come in sizes. So they come in small, medium, large, extra large, right? So with the small one, I can put as much as I like in there, up to 5 kilos if I use the Australia Post one. Whereas if I do it myself, I can only 500 grams for the same price as I can put 5 kilos. So if we're sending within Australia, we all buy Australia Post ones, but you can get a business account with Australia Post. And then the more you spend with them, they put you up in a higher band and give you more discounts. Rob says, I sell 2 books a month on Amazon. Yay! You'll be able to retire on that, Rob. Sandra said, buy in store. What was that for, Sandra? Maya says, wow, I didn't know it was that much slower for you all. I was selling books on Amazon when I was in high school, so more than 10 years ago, and I still sold more on Amazon than eBay. Yeah, it's a real nuisance, I have to say. Yeah, I did realise that, Hilly. I did realise that when I looked at it again. So it is a real hassle for us, and I will have to, because I have got new books here that I have done retail arbitrage on. So I probably need to get them and put them up so I can get, I think, about 20 books or something before you can, get approved. And that's, I mean, if you're a secondhand bookseller, that's a pain in the behind. Maya says, mainly what I would sell on eBay. eBay was book lots. Okay. Yep. Yeah, I'm sort of moving away from the lots now and variation listings. I'm loving those because I can, the listing time, to make that initial very first listing does take time. But once you've done that, so if I make a variation listing for a particular author, for example, so maybe I've made a variation listing for Enid Blyton books. Like once I've made that, every time I come across an Enid Blyton book in my death pile, regardless of where it is, because a lot of those aren't worth putting up as a single book. I can just add it to the variation listing, and people can choose it and make up their own bundles. And I have it on a buy two get one free discount order at the moment. But I'm thinking of going over and maybe trying. Don't know. I'm thinking. Octo reckons I should think about doing a discount one where, say, if you buy one, you don't get a discount, but if you buy 2, you get 10%, and if you buy 3, you get 15%, say. And I think Rob had sort of suggested that to me as well. My biggest issue with doing that is that I've made all the pictures I use for my variation listing for the first image is all based on, it's got a big sticker on the front saying, buy 2, get 1 free. And I'd have to go and change them all. Rachel says, oh, hey, Hilly. Sandra, Rachel, buy your mailers in store. Yeah, so you either have to buy them. Oh, yeah, no, don't buy them online. Yeah, buy them in store, of course. Ning nong me. Yeah, buy your mailers in store. They will order them in for you and build a relationship with your post office. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you do have to buy them in store. Forgot about that. Amazon in Australia is completely different to Amazon US, unfortunately. Yes. And Aussies get weirded out by used items on Amazon. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Because they expect to only be able to get new stuff. You're quite right. Sandra says, I have a bolo to list today. Oh, exciting. You going to tell us what it is? Bax. Whoops, forgot what day it was. What did I miss? Everything, Bax. You missed everything. The big news stories of the day and all the chitty chat. I actually did have some eBay selling. I actually had some news. So I hope everyone liked that. Rach says, oh, okay, Sandra, I'll have to price them. I'll have to price them up. Yeah, look, they're the same price whether you get them in store or whether you get them online. So that all works out. quite well. So you won't have any worries with that. But yeah, do buy them in store. And look, one of the reasons I started out wanting to buy mine in store anyway is because I buy my postage online, like basically through Australia Post. My local post office doesn't get that money. So they only get the kickback from scanning my mail. And I wanted to buy my mailers and my postage stuff, my packing stuff in there to give them the support because I'm not buying the postage with them. Junk in the truck. So will your postman pick up your mail at your house, or do you have to go to the post office? So in bigger places, yes, they will pick. You can organise to get your mail picked up. I think you've got to have at least 10 parcels. But I live in the bush, in the outback. No, it's not really the outback, but I do live in a very small country town, and yeah, there's only only one person at the post office usually. So yeah, I mean, I know that Jim, who's the postmaster, he would come and pick them up if I asked him to. It would just be probably outside normal business hours because otherwise, who's going to be working behind the counter? Our system here is very different. So we don't really have a lot of different options, a lot of different good options with mail, and we can buy our mail through our postage through eBay, but we don't get the discounts that we get from Australia Post. So if you're on, say, and I'm not sure what a band 5 is because that's the highest band, on a band 4, mail that if you went in and bought it over the counter to post something costs $10.70. Well, if you're on band 4, which is the second tier down from the top, you're only paying about $8.69 or something like that. So you're getting quite a good discount. So you don't buy your labels through eBay. Sandra says, well, I've decided to list my Agatha Christie crime book collection. Woohoo! 1969 editions, $5.85 plus post. Sounds good to me. Sounds good. Excellent. Sandra says, I can get mine picked up for free, but I don't sell enough yet. Yeah. You'll get there. Maya, nice. How many books is it? Rach says, wow, Sandra, get them on. Yes, she should have been getting them on. She's had them for a while. Haven't counted for 18 months, but I think 22, 23, somewhere around there. Good morning, Wendy. Sorry you're late. Yes, that's all right. You're forgiven. Kafin, I'm late, but I'm here. Hi, Gigi. About bloody time. You missed all the news. I did a news story. I did. So there's a couple of exciting things coming up too, I must say. And don't forget, the podcast has its own channel now. So we need people to go over there and subscribe and watch the podcast episodes, which is on Worst Reseller Podcast, if you look for that. Now, a couple of things coming up. Lee, who you will see on here is Julie, who's lurking in the background there. So in the Discord, I have a Discord channel for anyone that doesn't know, and the link will be on my channel or in the video description somewhere. Go and get in there and join up. It's good. It's free. So the other night we were having a clothing talk, and what ended up happening was Lee put her store up, and I and the rest of us critiqued it, how some of her listings looked and what she could do to improve them. Talking of Lee, she says, have a good day, peeps. 5 listings done, and I'm off for breakfast. Excellent. And that may sound late for some people, but Lee's in Western Australia, which is 2 hours behind. So, yeah, enjoy your breakfast. What are you having? Caven says, I'll have to rewatch. Yeah, so it went so well, and people found it really great to watch that because, I mean, I'm not saying I'm the world's expert, but there were things I could see that I picked up just from her pictures. Our live stream, Lee says our live stream would be the worst reseller live stream. Isn't it going to be the worst the worst reseller live stream featuring two fat ladies? I think that's what we're going to call it. Well done, Lee. Can't wait for the podcast. Yeah, so we thought instead of so everyone seemed to enjoy it and seemed to get a lot out of it. So Lee is going to be brave enough to come on and do a let everyone see her store, and we'll be doing a little bit of store review and critiquing and looking at what she can do to improve things. And she's promised not to fix anything before then in her store. Junk in the Trunk says, nice, G Lee. I lived in Perth for a short while, loved it. Have a good brekkie. Rach says, sounds good, look forward to watching. Wendy says, no way, it was great last night, it should be shared with everyone. Yeah, exactly. And I am going to get I'm going to get organised and work out how to do the recording on the Discord. But I haven't done it yet. Everything I've tried hasn't quite worked. Lee says, I'll put my big girl pants on and try not to be offended. Yeah, that's right. Oh, look at that. Rob's even put the link in for the Discord. Yay. We do have a bit of fun in there, and we have some good meetings. So every second Tuesday night, we have book club. We're not talking about books to read, though. We're talking about how to sell books. Every time I say book club, and we've never come up with another name. We've talked about other names, but I still call it book club. And really, yeah, we're not talking about books to read. We're talking about books to sell. And then every other Tuesday night, we will have another type of talk. So whether it's it'll be like clothing one week, the next week maybe it's going to be Skylanders. There you go, Octo, I said it. Or whether it's Rob telling us how to sell cards, memorabilia, or whatever. So different things. Maybe we'll do a VHS night. Maybe we'll do a music night. How to sell all different categories. So yeah, they're really good, and there's some really good information comes out of those things. And I am I've done the one recording of the book club, and it'll very likely, possibly, at least be doing audio of those most of the time, but we'll see. Wendy says, Lee's a legend. She is. I think she is. And Sandra says, Julie is a super good sport. She is. Speaking of pants, worst jeans photo ever. What, you've taken one, or there's one still on your store? She says, okay, starving now. Hooroo, hooroo. Go enjoy your breakfast. Rach says, 23 people in the chat, 97 people have liked this live. Come on, everyone. Yes, come on, everyone. It's good for the... Because when I watch... I'm a bit addicted to watching the true crime stuff, and I watch a lot of live streams of the court cases and stuff. And it cracks me up because, they're always, please make sure you like and subscribe because it's good for the algorithm and it'll help this live stream get out to more people. And I always forget to say stuff like that. So thank you, Rach. I will have to get around to, I need to do a couple more, Rach, so I'll probably make you a moderator shortly when I remember how I'm supposed to do it. Junk in the Trunk said, I just had a late dinner. Chicken and dumplings, yummy. Ooh, yum. Sounds good. I had crumpets this morning for breakfast. That was pretty nice. Wendy says, done. For the like, she did. Thank you. Kafen said, I was like number 8. Thanks, Kafen. Whoops. Oh, yeah, that's right. You're going to do a talk on how to use stock images. Yeah. Because that's so hard. Lovely. Yeah, they were. I think I was 1 or 2. Good-o. Bronwyn, I ate ditto. You ate ditto? Did you? Oh, you had crumpets as well, did you? Or you pressed the like button? One or the other. Not sure. So that's the Lee and I will be doing that shortly. We're going to do that sooner rather than later. Well, mainly because she wants to sell her stuff, and we need to sort of fix a few things. Yes, Hilly, this will be available to watch. It'll be on my main page there. You'll be able to find it, or if you go to my channel, you'll be able to see the where it says live. And go to that tab; it'll be in there. These are all automatically, when I do live streams like this, they automatically stay on YouTube. The other exciting things that's coming up is I'm doing a special number 2 of my Stories from History series. Now, I've decided, after having, we've had a few discussions on what's the best way to go around it. So I'm going to change the way I'm going to present the stories, because people seem to think, I mean, I did kind of read from a script for that one, the first one I did, and it's probably not as natural. So how I'm going to do the upcoming ones instead is I'm going to kind of do this. Hang on, I'll show you. Share screen. Not that this is anything to look at, but it will just give you the idea. So I've been sort of making some new ways of presenting myself, like so. And I will have pictures and dot points only to remind me of what I'm supposed to be talking about on the screen. And then I will just tell the story. Look. Maya says, yes, go to a channel and to the live tab, it will be there. Look who's here, Josh. Hello from starry Niagara Falls, Canada. Yay. What time is it over there, Josh? Love you, Josh. Jack in the Trunk says, welcome, Josh. Maya says, hello, Josh. Everyone will say hello to Josh. He's so gorgeous. Yes, so that will be coming up very soon. I'll be recording that today. The story I'm going to be doing is probably going to be a bit longer than normal. So I'm actually probably going to split it across 2 episodes, but I will release the 2 episodes around the same time, so they're not too far apart, so you can get the full story, I guess, but it'll be in 2 blocks, so if you can't watch it all at once, it's not so bad. Sandra says, hi, Josh. And Josh says, hi, Maya. Hi, Junk in the Trunk. And hi, Sandra. 9:24 p.m. Okay. Yeah, 11:25 here. I was going to say good old sunny Australia, but it's not very sunny today. Maya says, same here. I think we're 12 hours behind you, Gigi. Yeah, that's about right. Which is, yeah, I have to put extra concealer under my eyes, because if I stay up late and watch the live streams of some of the court cases, some of them start about 11 o'clock at night, but the good stuff's happening at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when I'm trying to go to sleep. Rach says, so excited for it. It's going to be a good one. It is. And I think it'll be a lot better, because I'll just have the photos and the dot points up, and I'll be able to tell the story. But I do need to have the dot points. I can't just put the photos up, because otherwise the story will go for 5 hours. Maya says, it throws me for a loop every time I see your notification. I thought I skipped today. Yeah, of course, it's tomorrow. Tomorrow. I love ya. Tomorrow. Junk in the Trunk. We are the same in time zone, Josh. Junk in the Trunk. Gigi, I'm addicted to them too. I don't know why. Yeah, I know. I'm just, I did say to someone the other day, and I kind of felt bad about it, but as much as, have you seen the Karen Reid trial? Presumably you have. And as much as I want the the Commonwealth to just drop the charges. In some respects, I want that court case to go ahead because I want to see the defence absolutely annihilate those morons on the prosecution. It just blows me away. If anyone hasn't seen the Karen Reid trial, I have started a playlist on my channel, which has got some good videos to watch some of that stuff. I must get and update it because there's been a few new good things this week because there's always something new coming out about them. But so enjoyable. Look, I know that the live streams are there and I don't have to watch them live, but some of the cases, like you watch them afterwards, you watch the replay, and you're so excited to see what's happening next that you want to stay up. And look, I started watching them more so when I got sick because I was in bed just staring at the ceiling. Maya says, the only true crime I've watched was the Parkland trial. Oh, don't know that one. Parkland trial. Do tell. Never expected to see so many unprofessional lawyers in that one. Oh, well, the Karen Reid takes the cake, and it's not just the lawyers, it's the corrupt cops that have framed this woman. And like, I've never seen anything like it as far as, collecting evidence in, red plastic Solo cups. I can't even. Don't get me started because that I would just go off on a big tangent. The other one I'm loving too is the Sarah Boone case, because Sarah Boone. Okay, so the story with Sarah Boone is. Hang on, let me catch up on the chat first. Junk in the Trunk says the Fannie Willis trial was simply insane. Yeah, that might have been before I really started watching them. Don't know that one. Not just the lawyers, but the judges too. I know that bloody what is it? The Young Thug trial. That Judge Glanville, my God, and the prosecution's sneaky in that one too. It was a case in Parkland, Florida. It involves the item you can't mention on a video. Oh, a pew pew, pew pew. Blake, haven't seen you for so long. Howdy, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Yes, I am. Finally. And here I am. Sandra, tangent. Exactly. Maya says, yeah, that is true. I don't know why they picked her. It was her first. Was it? Well, that was pretty stupid of them. Sarah Boone is absolutely she is. Sandra says, hi, Blake, how are you? We miss you. Yes, do. He's such a sweetheart. Blake says, great to see you back, Gigi. Thank you. Back says, it's the other guy. It is the other guy. How you going, Blake? And Rach says, Blakey, how are you? Hi, Blake, how are you? Very much missed. And he says he misses us all. Yeah. So if anyone doesn't know about Sarah Boone, so the crime is she killed her boyfriend, and that's what she's charged with. But how she killed him? She didn't use a pew-pew. She didn't smother him. She didn't strangle him. What she did was she played hide and seek with him. And somehow he finished up in a suitcase, alive, zipped up, while they were playing a game. Hang on, get rid of that. Yeah, while they were playing a game. And, yeah, she was slightly inebriated and perhaps something else as well, I don't know. And filmed videos of herself and the suitcase saying, there he's calling out, let me out. And she's saying to him, no, you can stay in there and that'll get you back for all the stuff you've done to me. And then she forgot because she was tired, so she went upstairs and she forgot. She went to sleep and left him in the suitcase. And apparently when you're squished up that much with all the pressure and everything, for that long, you expire. So she is charged. But anyway, she's had 8 different court-appointed lawyers. One was one she paid for, or I think her ex-husband might have paid for, which she fired. And then she's had 7 other lawyers, some of those have actually had to quit for conflict of interest as far as legalities go. The others, she's driven them bat crazy, and so they have asked to be recused from defending her. So she's now pro se, which means she's defending herself. And she's a loon, but look, it's going to be funny. I shouldn't laugh. Someone died, but Back's ass has a new house, Blake. Oh, no, it's doing amazing, isn't it? Rach says, haha, how ridiculous. Oh, it's an unreal case. It really is. I have a playlist for that as well. Blake says, it's really good. I'm hardly ever there, though. Too busy at work these days. I know. Bax, yeah, I know. It's good to hear your house is going great, yeah. And look, it is kind of good to be busy, isn't it? Sandra says, cool, Blake, glad everything's going well, except for Depop. Yeah, are you selling on Depop now or not? Because, Octo was basically talking in circles, so how would one know? Rach says, so she could get charged with suffocating him then surely. Yeah, so she's charged with, I think she's charged with second-degree murder, and obviously they would also have charged her with manslaughter and stuff, so that, if the jury doesn't put her on that. But the trouble is, every defense lawyer she's had has said, you should go with this defense, whatever that defense is. And she says, no, I want to go for the I didn't mean to do it, so I'm innocent defense. So, yeah, it's pretty amazing. Blake says, haha, Depop is showing me love lately. You've not been banned in a month. Excellent. So you have been banned more than once. Like you, obviously, yeah. So what reason did they give you, Blake? You should film updates with your house, Blake. Yeah, you should. And making all that stuff you're doing, how good's that? Blake says, I will be working on some videos soon. Excellent. Sounds like a crazy case, GG. Weird. I know. Totally weird. Sandra says, excellent, Blake. Blake says, I've been banned 6 times. That's unreal. 6 times. Crikey. Look forward to it, Blake. Make sure the MVP makes an appearance, maybe eating a plastic bag or something. Counterfeit items. Oh, my God. How ridiculous. Maya says, here I mostly hear about people getting banned on Depop for stock photos. Wow, really? Yeah, because I cross-list from eBay to Depop, and the only hassle is you do have to make sure that your first 8, well, you don't have to, but make sure your first 8 photos on eBay are the ones that you want to go to Depop, because otherwise you've got to redo your photos. And who wants to redo your photos? No one. Yeah, exactly. Robert go no good. Yeah. I have sold a couple of books on Depop, actually. I mean, I sell clothing on there mainly, but I have got some books up there. And, yeah, it's funny because they were up there for quite a while and didn't sell. But then sort of in the last few months, I have sold a couple. So I'm sort of umming and ahhing about whether I do put a selective amount more. I mean, I don't want to inundate Depop with books because I want that to be the place to sell clothing. Maya says, yeah, or even people using their own photos that look too much like stock photos. I guess a bot removes them. Yeah, I think that's the issue because you can take such good photos. And if you see, this is the thing when you're using those things that do the background removal, that can make it look like they're stock photos, can't it? It sucks because I get questions on Depop all the time asking for a model photo or try-on photo. Oh, I know. Like I actually got asked, I think it was last week. Like it was a size 10 anyway. And this person asked me, could I take a photo of myself wearing it? And I thought, weirdo. But what I really thought I wanted to reply back was, yes, I will put that on my leg and send a picture to you because my leg's going to be as far as it's going to go. So, yeah. Maya says, I don't know why Depop specifically. People always ask about that. Why on Depop? Yeah. Because they're weird. I shouldn't say it. Because anyone that asks you stuff like that on eBay, you know that they're fetish people. And that's always an issue. Because I had boots taken down off, they were beautiful leather boots and the leather was worn in. So they were well worn. And that's what you want when you're buying leather boots, right? So I put that in the title and eBay pulled them down. And when I contacted them, they told me I'm not allowed to put well worn because that is enticing foot fetish people. I don't use stock photos, says Junk in the Trunk. I'm too scared to get popped. You know what? Someone stole my eBay photos and used them on Poshmark. Yeah. So there is a particular bookseller on eBay whom we refer to as the fluffy rug lady or the white fluffy rug lady. So she uses a white fluffy rug for her background. And a lot of people have taken her photos for particular old vintage books because they obviously haven't been able to get pictures of that book, but she's selling it on eBay and on Amazon and ebaybooks. I see her pictures all the time and it's always stock photo. Caven says, I seem to do better with plush on Depop than clothes. Yeah, that's interesting. I have sold a couple of toys on there, and a doll, I think. So I probably need to put more of that over there too. Blake says, I always get asked to wear women's clothing on my Depop. I just refer them to Judder. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Yeah, Judder would look all right in him. And he doesn't mind dressing up in the odd dress, does he? Maya says, I use stock photos for some of my items, but I only use them on Poshmark now. Okay. I know some people with dresses and stuff will put like a couple of their own photos, and then after that they'll put stock photos of the model wearing the dress with, maybe the head cut off or whatever. But yeah. Depop pushes the try-on method. Yeah, I think because Depop's sort of angling itself that you're selling your own clothes. I think more so than being a reseller place. That's the feeling I get anyway. Rach says you should grow your leg hair, especially. I know, it'd be so attractive. So attractive. Sandra's laughy face. But yeah, I just think, yeah, I'll put that on my, that'll fit on my right thigh. That'd be good. I mean, yeah, because some of the questions I do get asked on Depop, I have to stop because and think before I answer, because my immediate thought of what I want to reply to them, I couldn't reply to them. And, and it's always the ones that ask fiddly questions and stuff, and you think they won't buy it. And they don't. It's weird. Maya says, yes, I guess it is supposed to remind people of Instagram or something. Weird. Caven, sometimes I see people modelling in such a provocative way, you have to wonder what they're selling. True. I think people think that if they do that people will go into their store and buy their stuff. Junk in the Trunk, you can copyright claim your eBay photos if they are used on other platforms. eBay's T&Cs say you can't use someone's photos outside of eBay. Yeah, well, you can. And look, you can always put it, talking of running your photos through a program, if you've got using one of those, and I presume you can do it. I mean, I do it in Photoshop and have done it all the time. You can always put a watermark on your images. I mean, I don't do it on eBay because that's just another thing I'd have to do. But yeah, I mean, what I do it for, sorry, that's a lie. I don't do it for my regular items that I sell on eBay. But when I'm selling like antique postcard images, I put a watermark on it and right across the middle because some people that are looking for that particular postcard might just take a screenshot or save my image and then they buy the postcard. So that's my little tip for selling those. Maya, yeah, Gigi, I have a hard time with dresses because I do flat lays, yeah. Yeah, well, so I do take a photo of it on the hanger, but then the rest of my photos are flat lay, exactly. I don't sell, I basically I've got one dress on up for sale at the moment. I don't generally sell dresses because I found when I had with my bad back, it's hard for me to take the photos with dresses because you've got to allow so much. Oh, yeah, no, anyway. So, yeah, I stopped doing dresses basically, and that's fine with me. Mate, I bought a bulk lot of 50 new with tags bridesmaids dresses, and luckily there were stock photos out there because it would have been impossible for me. Yeah, nice. Good one. If I use a stock photo, I still have lots of photos of the real item and show the tags and everything. Yeah. And I guess that's the thing. You could always snap a couple of photos anyway of the real thing and put them in and mix the other photos through. I mean, Rob does very well selling books using stock images, so doesn't seem to be too much of an issue on eBay at the moment. Blake hates selling dresses. Yeah, me too. Me too. Yep, dresses are not my thing. All right, boys and girls, have you finished talking to me? Did I tell you about everything that was coming up? Yeah, the history. Oh, yeah. So the history video is about, like, it's still a story to do with my family. Some of my family members ran off and joined a cult. And that's the story I'm going to tell you. So that's something to look forward to. Kafin, skirts are better than dresses. Oh, absolutely they are. Much better. I don't mind doing skirts at all. As a matter of fact, I actually, out of clothing, skirts are probably my favourite thing to do. That is a bit crooked, isn't it? Particularly shorter ones. Them and shorts, denim shorts, Daisy Duke shorts. I love doing those because they're so easy. Because I don't even have to worry about getting a full length photo because they're so small. All right, so that is it, boys and girls. I am going to go, and Blake says I can't get behind skirts, especially denim skirts. Funny. All right, boys and girls, I am off like the milk when you leave it out in the heat. And I will see you next time. Bye now.